What's up? What's up? It's your man, Jimmy Chan. All right. Hey, about the lab work. So let's talk about that part first. So right now I'm in student view, right? So this is exactly what you would see if you were on Canvas right now. So let's say that you want to figure out what your grade is and what I wrote on your lab work in LabWork 1. So what you can do is when you click on grades here on the left-hand side, actually, let me annotate this with this right here so that you can see. So if I go to grades right here, I can click on grades. And essentially, I'm a test student in this particular place. So I know that I did not submit a LabWork 1, so I'm going to leave that alone for now, but I'm going to show you guys LabWork 2. Okay, so I just submitted this so that you can actually see what I submitted and then where you can actually see the writing. So if I click on LabWork 2 right now, which for you guys, LabWork 1. Okay, so you got a couple of things here, right? So let me move my picture here. So you can see that this is what I named it. So if you click here, you'll just get back what you submitted, exactly what you submitted. Over here on the right on view feedback, you will, when you click on that, it will show you what you submitted and what I wrote on that piece of paper. Okay, and over here is obviously comment and everything else. So so you can always resubmit the assignment if it's before the due date. So if you come in here and you click on here and it doesn't load, you can just hit resubmit assignment and then you can resubmit it. So I would tell you to always check to make sure that what you submitted is actually submitted. Okay. So if you hit view feedback, this is what you're going to see. You're going to see this right here. Now, depending on your screen, if it's too small, feel free to just hit it full screen. And right here, you can see that this is where I wrote stuff. Okay, so you can see the comments that I write on your paper, no matter what's right, what's wrong, and so on and so forth. Now, I graded number 5. So the question is, what kind of work did I want to see from you? So essentially right here on a protractor, you would see that there's 2 different measurements, right? One is 35 degrees and one is 145, right? Which makes sense because that adds up to 180. So you see 35 and 145. So then what you would say is that, well, I have 2 choices. I have either 35 or 145. However, because that I know that the angle is less than 90 degrees, it's acute, right? And you see that this is clearly an acute angle. That's why you would pick the 35 instead of the 145. Okay, so that is really the work that I was trying to look for. You guys do not have to put it into a long explanation whatsoever, like writing a paragraph to tell me what's going on. I don't really need to know that, but I do need to know that you know that this angle is acute, right? And so when you're reading a protractor, that you're reading the smaller number rather than the bigger number. All right, so that's the biggest part. Now, with that being said, some of the other things I've seen is that someone has scanned what I've given you, the lab work itself, and all they did was circle the choices and put the choices in the blank, which kind of defeats the whole purpose of lab work, given the fact that I've given you the answers. So basically, they looked at the answers and circled the answers and then write it down on the right-hand side. And some of them had taken that sheet and just did the work on that, which again, the work has to be on a separate sheet of paper. Now, if you decided to do screenshots of each question and then put it on the iPad and then doing the problem and then submitting that, that's cool with me. I'm good with that. I don't have a problem with that whatsoever. Just so that you don't have to write the problem out, which you really don't have to write a bunch of problems out. So that is definitely something that is very much doable. Now, I find that anytime I do this of what do we know section for the conversion and stuff, that definitely helps because it's kind of like extra notes on the side in terms of what you need and stuff like that. Now, the other thing that I started seeing was that some of these papers were sideways. So I'm guessing that if I don't if I were to give you guys notes sideways all the time or upside down all the time, you guys would kind of probably freak out on me and actually call me names and tell me that I'm unorganized and throw things at me. Well, guys, if you're going to hold me to that standard, you should hold yourself to the same exact standard. Okay. Don't sit there and be yelling at me, but yet you don't hold yourself to the same standard. Okay. Now, but however, this past weekend at church, the message that was said in church was that to love one another the way he loved us. So I'm going to do that. That actually kept on coming to my mind as I was grading these lab work. So lab work 1 will be just forgiven. I know that some of you guys got 100% on it and you're like, please don't let that one go. Expect more from yourself. If you got 100% on this, you're going to get more 100%, no doubt about it in my mind. And for the students that just started this week, I want them to have a chance too. So that's another reason why I want to drop it. The third reason why I want to drop it is because the first week is the week that you weren't sure about what do I expect from you in terms of submitting the lab work? What should it look like, right? Now you have an example right here of what that looks like, even though this is the lab work 1 and lab work 2 here. I know this is the wrong lab work. This is what lab work 1 should look like. And that's what I expect from you guys. Now, is there other methods of doing things like, do you have to do it this way? You do not. But in terms of cleanliness of the paper, the order of the problems, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on, and the neatness of the paper. So that is what I'm expecting from you guys. And week 1 is usually a good time to kind of talk about those things so that you guys kind of have that clarification. And even when it comes to a problem that is like this, where it's hard to even have to explain it, and how do I go about showing work when it is something as simple as that? Now, don't get me wrong. There are some problems that I do not expect you to really show work. So I understand that as well. All right. So hopefully this helps. If you have any questions, feel free to send me a message on Canvas. If you can, or write it down in a notebook so that you can ask in front of class on Thursday so that I can address that, because I really do want to address that. So please, if you can, that'd be awesome. All right. Other than that, guys, please have a wonderful day. Love you guys. I'll talk to you guys on Thursday. Later. Bye. Where's stop? There it is. Oh, where's stop recording?